What's going on YouTube? Darksword255 here. The numbers may be randomly generated, but the content itself is not. And guys, over the weekend days, whatever, I actually ended up pulling one of the newest champions in the game. Not the one that I wanted, but she is still nonetheless really awesome. I ended up pulling Pallas. So in today's video, we're going to be doing a mini guide on her, going over her kit, where to use her, how to use her, what gear to go with, masteries, relics, all sorts of things, guys. So if this guide does help you out at the end of the video, guys, please make sure to let me know down in the comments below. And also, guys, how cool is this new faction? Please let me know. I think that they're really coolly interestingly designed. So you guys have to let me know. But without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump right into this guide. So who is Pallas? She is from the newest faction, guys, the Argonauts faction. We're going to go ahead and go through her kit right now. So her A1 attacks one enemy with a random ally from the Argonauts faction. The ally joining the attack is using their default skill. Heals all allies by 10% of this champion's HP. Pretty nice. Don't know why this is based on attack. A little bit weird when it says that you're healing based off of your HP, but I guess it's like how hard you hit. Everything else about it doesn't really matter. So really cool. Very similar to how Lady Mikage's A1 works. That they have a random person from that faction team up with their basic attack. So her A2 removes all debuffs from all allies and places a block debuff buff and a fervor, which is one of the newest buffs that they've added. There's only, I mean, at the time of recording this, there was only a relic that you could get fervor. So now she's able to give fervor. Fervor is an amazing buff, guys, and it gives you a lot of different areas of the game where you can use fervor. So as we can see right here, guys, what is fervor? Fervor. Why can I not say this? Increases the damage inflicted by 10% and reduces damage received by 10%. So really awesome buff that you're giving to all of your allies for 2 turns, as well as that blocked buff for 2 turns. Like, amazing. So you're reducing incoming damage by 10% and outputting 10% more damage as long as fervor is on your ally, or I guess on the whoever champion is attacking. Now, this is really awesome. Her A3 is a revive. Revives all dead allies with 50% HP and 50% turn meter. Places a 25% strengthen buff and a 30% speed increase buff on all allies for 2 turns. Pretty nice. So you're reviving all of your allies that are dead with 50% HP and 50% turn meter, as well as giving them an increased speed and a strengthen to survive incoming damage that is coming in. Now, her passive is really cool. Whenever an ally receives a debuff, places a shield buff on that ally that is equal to 20% of their max HP. Then fills the, well, not then, sorry. I'm implementing words that are not here. Fills the champion's, oh my God. Fills the turn meter of all allies by 15% at the end of this champion's turn. So, really cool. Every time she goes and finishes a turn, she's increasing everybody's speed, well, I guess turn meter, by 15%. And then her aura is really nice, a 50% resistance in all battles. There's not a lot, well, it's nice to have this coming from somebody who's tried to build many Chimera teams, really who needed that stinking resistance. It's nice to have. Is it the big boy resistance? No, but it's still a little bit extra resistance. So now there's a lot of different ways to use Pallas here. And again, even though she's a part of the new Argonauts faction, guys, you can use her right now, right? I, hilariously enough, if you guys have watched my videos, I pulled a Cassandra on my main account. This is not my main account. You know what? This is my free-to-play account. Big sad. What's really funny is, so I did not record it. I think I said in one of my other videos that I was going to record. The first sacred shard I pulled, got her. First one, got a +1 too, and the +1 sucked. But I ended up just not like recording it because I didn't want to. But if you have a Cassandra, you can make some really fun teams. Especially if you also have a Lady Mikage, then you can have a lot of different ally attack teams that you can basically mesh together. Again, if I had a Cassandra, on this account, you could make some really, really fun teams. I don't have one, so I can't really showcase. I can't really showcase it. Maybe if I get in the future, I can like make a video showcasing like actual teams with other, or if I get obviously any of the other legendary Argonauts down the road, we can make some videos. But that we're not talking about that. You guys can skip through this yapping little session of mine right here. So, let me go ahead and pull her up. I have her built with protection. Now, again, at the time of recording, I don't have a 9-piece protection. The 9-piece protection set would be mint. 75% chance of placing block debuffs, as well as 5% more damage per each buff on. And guys, we are placing 4 buffs. So we're adding an additional 20% extra damage just with that with that set right there, number 1. Then with Fervor, you're increasing it another 10%. So you're basically with this champion, if you have her in protection, which again, I don't have the accessories. I'm missing, I think, a necklace. I'm missing a necklace. I'll get it soon, hopefully. And then I'll just, put that piece of gear on there. Then yippee, we have what we need. So, you're giving all of your champions 30% more damage from obviously Fervor. And then if you have all of the buffs that she is placing on all your guys. So a pretty big, that's a huge buff just to have her right there. Right. And then it's crazy. There's different ways that you can build her. So if you're going for, let's say you want to build her for Chimera, for a Hydra, basically you're just trying to build her for PvP, standard PvP. In my humble opinion, going with protection would be the best, in my opinion. Now, you can also go with Relentless, but the thing about Relentless is you're just going more times, which is good and bad, right? It's good and bad. It's good because you can utilize her passive every time she goes. You're increasing the turn meter of all of your guys, which is good, obviously, having that turn meter, right? But on the flip side, what is more important to you? Increasing your entire champion's, like your entire team's movement forward, or your overall damage per, skill that you're hitting with? In my opinion, again, and how I am personally using her, I'm using her in Hydra. I'm using her in Chimera, so I'm utilizing her with other teams that are hitting very hard. And I don't necessarily care about her going multiple times. I think that really, in my opinion, that if you are a younger account and you really need the healing, focused, Relentless would be the best to go with. Obviously, I know that's ironic because getting Relentless gear, you have to win tournaments. I get it. I'm just saying that if you're struggling with healing and survivability, Relentless, in my opinion, would be better because you're healing off your A1. You're able to just kind of unload more abilities throughout. Number 1. You can also build her in the newest set, Mercurial. I always say it wrong, so please don't judge me, guys. And for PvP, she's actually a really insane PvP champion. I actually was messing around with a Go second team with Python, Ultimate Death Knight, her, and I was using Nice because, why would I not use Nice? I have Nice, but you could, the other champion can be, go, it could be, obviously is your flex, right? And, or you can even use Harima. Harima's also really good, as a flex for that Go second team. And basically the design of that team is how Python works is the more buffs that are on all of your allies, you receive 5% less damage per buff. So she's putting a bunch of buffs down. Ultimate Death Knight is tanking, main hits, and, Harima is taking less damage because of her passive. She takes 50% less ignored defense. So, you could build a really disgusting Go second team with Pallas, right? And if you build her in the newest set, you're not able to target her, right? You're not able to target her. You can't cheap her, yada, yada, yada. You have that true stack. Again, I don't have the gear to showcase this team. I just don't have the gear. So, which is a bummer, but I digress. It's a good way to kind of build an understanding of how you want to build these champions, right, guys? And what areas of the game you want to build them. I went with these masteries. These are a kind of a standard if all your I'm basically using her as a reviver, right? So if all your guys are dead, she gets turn meter, you know, based off of your dead allies that are around you, so she can move faster, revive everybody. Again, you can put her in Stone Skin, you can put her in Mercurical, Relentless, or obviously Protection, depending on what. If you're going for PvP, I would say Stone Skin. Probably Stone Skin is not as good, but you can go with Stone Skin, Mercurical, and Protection if you have a really fast speed lead and you can almost guarantee that you're going to go first. Because if you don't go first, it's going to be redundant, right? You're going to get clapped. So, you know, like I said, you know, you can copy this page right here. Kind of like I said, a standard, everybody dies, bring everybody back, you know, last resort. You can also use this in, you know, PvE. If you need more resistance, obviously you can go and get Unshakable. You really don't need the resistance, but you know, you really don't if you're using PvP. You're like for PvE, oh my god, just, you know, you're going to be probably building her in a protection set, and so you're not going to be really losing your buffs, but you know, it really doesn't necessarily matter. Now, I don't have a lot of relics on this account, so again, don't judge me. So I am using Aspect of Seroth here, and basically this is protecting me from getting one shot. Basically, right? If it was a higher level, it would be a lot harder to obliterate her, but this is what I have for right now. Another good set, let me see, I don't even think I have it on this account. Okay, Bird is the word. Preach Shadow would be really OP on her. I'm blocking, my face is blocking, I don't want to move my face. Wearer has a 10% chance of receiving an extra turn when using their default skill if at least one skill is on cooldown. So, I mean, honestly, having Pierced Shadow as well as Relentless would be a good match with those two, right? Because you're getting a chance to have an extra turn with the Relentless gear set, and then you have a chance, you know, so you have, you know, if you miss the roll on Relentless, you could get the roll on Pierced Shadow. It's good, you know, if you're going to pair them, Pierced Shadow would probably be one of the best. If in PvP, obviously Aspect of Seroth would be, you know, kind of what you're aiming for right there. Obviously, if you're the GOAT and you have just insane stuff, Volcanic Heart would be amazing as well. You know, again, if you're really struggling with healing, Golden Elixir for like PvE. If you're really struggling and don't have good relics, the Journal is really good. Wearer's Heal and turn meter effects are boosted by 15%. So, you know, I would probably say if we're going to do a hierarchy, this Journal is actually really good. I would honestly take that over the Golden Elixir. I'm going to be honest, but you know, you're going to be able to like really ramp this up. Again, I know that my face is blocking. I know everybody would much rather look at my beautiful face, but the Journal is pretty good, as well as, like I said, going with, of course, now I got to refine it. I think, yep. Okay. Faction Wars, grabbing this would be amazing as well. Like I said, Aspect of Seroth would be good. You know, if you guys have any other suggestions, what you would think would be a good relic, those are just kind of my top 3 that I would recommend. I came really close to putting this on her because, I mean, getting that additional 15% when you're already getting a lot of healing and turn meter is that's a lot. You're really speeding up your team, but you know, I'm using her, like I said, I'm trying to aim to use her in PvP as a go second team. But again, she's built in a weird hybrid way right now. All right, guys, so stats wise, you don't need accuracy. Duh, you're not placing any debuffs. You want her to be as fast as possible. Again, this is not the greatest set of gear because free to play account. Plus, I don't have all the accessories I really need since this faction is so new. I was trying to aim for 300 speed, but 276 is as fast as I could get it with an 8-piece set. And the good thing is, as soon as I get I just need a necklace. I could just replace the necklace, right? And then I have the 9-piece, boom, right? I could make her a little bit, you know, I could probably mess around with this gear a little bit. Obviously, there's room for improvement, but that is fine. We still have at least a 50% chance of landing those protected buffs, which is still pretty good, right? Still pretty good, so they're not going to get stripped and you don't have to worry about it, especially like for Chimera. if you're utilizing her in Chimera as like your block buff, you really need it to be protected like really badly, because you're gonna just be getting stripped at all times. If you want it to be like super extra protection, obviously more resist, so you can't get hit with debuffs. But I think in the hierarchy of like stats that you're aiming for, again, if you can get the sets, awesome. But what's more important if you're using her in PvE is her stats. Speed is it's HP and speed, right? You want to be able to go as many times as possible. You also want a lot of HP because you're healing based off how much HP you have, right? So those are the two stats that are obviously very important. Then defense, obviously, right? So you're not getting one shot. So HP, speed, defense, those are the best key ones. If you want to be extremely annoying, really high resistance, you know. Now, I obviously don't have any blessings for her. You can go with lightning cage if you don't, you know, want her to be stripped or anything like that. Again, I know that I'm blocking. I'm too lazy to move. I'm sorry. You're just gonna have to deal with it, guys. Probably you could go with that. You could go with emergency heal too. Like that's really not that great, but you could. Emergency heal would be okay. You know, smite if you have a high blessing, if you're doing PvE content and you just need to milk a little bit more damage. You could also go with temporal chains, which I know I'm blocking. Temporal chains would be good, that if the enemy team is speeding up, you're slowing them down and then you're speeding yourself up. You know, if you're using it for PvP. So PvP, I would probably say temporal chains, also lightning cage. Intimidating presence would be good too. And I say in quotes, right? If you have like a high blessing for intimidating presence, like having that will really help like your team's aura, right? So, you know, those are kind of the big ones that I would probably go with. Yeah, I mean, just like quickly off the top of my head, you know, those would be what I would aim for. If you really need healing, like I said, emergency healing is good. Basically protects you from dying, which is awesome. You could also do survival instinct. Again, it depends on like how bad, like down bad you are, right? Like if you're really struggling, like going those healing blessings can help you. But again, I wouldn't really aim for that. I mean, if you also get a high blessing cruelty, if you don't have somebody on your team with cruelty, basically every time you're attacking, and you're going to already be really fast, right? So you're going to be attacking and being able to stack off this decrease like champion defense, like, or I guess whoever you're attacking, like the boss. Again, I would only do this if you have nobody on your team, or if you have a higher blessing than somebody on your team that has cruelty, right? So like if, for example, you have a 5-star, right? And somebody on your team, the next person with cruelty has a 3-star, I would put cruelty on her. But you know, there's a lot of different ways that you can utilize blessings in this game, but you know, it depends, obviously, right? So how do I utilize Pallas, right? Now, again, I have thrown together some teams here. They're not built 100% because, again, I am missing pieces that I need to make these teams genuinely work, right? So if we go to Chimera, this team will actually get me a lot of trials. This should give me, I think, 11. This team should give me 11 trials, right? It should give me 11 trials. So how this team is supposed to be formulated, right? Pallas is putting down, you know, those big buffs, right? And in a perfect world, it would be protected, right? The block buff, the fervor, which is again so important, especially for some of these trials. So important. And then you have Lady Mikage, Ninja. This is, and I say, a standard team, right? Like when Chimera first came out, a lot of people were running this, were running something like this. Honestly, the Ninja can be flexed out with any Shadowkin, right? Like any Shadowkin. Thor could be switched out with anybody. I mainly am using Thor in this team, obviously for damage, but it's so important to put down that decreased speed, guys. I, for a very, very long time, did not appreciate decreased speed on bosses, but that decreased speed that you can put down is so impactful. You can get like 2 or 3 more turns in with just because of that decreased speed. So I'm really mainly utilizing him. Obviously, like I said, obviously he's going to be doing a lot of damage, but that decreased speed means that my entire team is going to be going a lot, especially every time she attacks and finishes her turn. Speeds up the team, slows down the boss. So you can get a lot of trials done with this team, which is, obviously awesome for progression, right? Or even like an end game account, right? You could build an entire team like this. Even for Ultra Nightmare, I mean, the gear requirements would be crazy, right? You need like really high resistance, damage, all this. You would still need like all this stuff to make this team work in Ultra Nightmare, but it could work. And it would actually be a lot easier to work because she's healing so much. She's healing so much. If your team dies, she revives them, right? So you just build her very tanky, very fast. All of the rotations cannot kill her. She's reviving everybody. She's unloading a ton of damage, so on and so forth. So this is a very basic team, guys, for Chimera. Again, I need the protection set to make this work properly. So there's not really a point of kind of like going through a run here. But you kind of understand, and hopefully I did a decent job of articulating how to set up this team for Chimera, right? Now, I really am interested. So there's a lot of, so I have obviously a Titus team, right? But my Titus team, guys, is, I'm throwing her in here, right? And I'm throwing her in here again because in a perfect world, I would have the 9-piece protection, right? She's putting down 4 buffs, which is, like I said, that 20% additional damage that your champions are doing, your allies are doing, plus the fervor, right? They're taking less damage and also dealing 10% less damage, right? So like I am going to be getting a ton of additional damage with this team, right? And what I ended up doing is Michinaki here, I actually ended up putting him in a 9-piece feral set. So obviously his stats are not the greatest, but that's okay. We don't care. Like, we're not using him as damage. Like, I mean, obviously he's going to be doing damage, but we don't really care, right? We want him to be putting down as many debuffs as possible. So he's going to be getting, I think it's 15% bonus damage that your team is going to be getting. Because I think it's 5% for feral every time you put down a debuff. So you're going to be getting 15% plus stacking out Pallas, right? Which is giving you 30%. And just those 2 champions with the gear set, you're going to be getting a ton extra damage. And again, with Titus, we're trying to milk out every little dropling of damage to get as much damage as we could possibly get for this Chimera Clash. But the great thing is, right, guys, I could put her anywhere, right? I don't have to put her in Titus, right? I can put her right here, right? And honestly, I almost did put her in my Crowcard team, right? Or just anywhere, right? Like, I can put her really anywhere because she's giving you a ton of healing. She's giving you turn meter boost because of just with her going, right? She gives you a revive, block damage. So if you're really struggling, guys, in this game to progress in some of these other like areas of the game, again, this account is a free to play, yes, but it's an older free to play, and it's also goated because I'm goated, and so like, if let's just say I didn't have Titus, right, guys? Even let's just say I didn't even have like this team. Like, I could easily put her as in the role of a support in any of these Hydra teams, right? And again, she would be used as healing, block damage, and also cleansing, right? Because again, I think her A2 is cleansing, right? She's going to be cleansing, reviving, and healing, boosting, right? That is how you're using her in any of these teams, right? And again, she's going to be able to help you get just a little bit extra damage, at least a minimum of 10% with Fervor, right? And a lot more survivability because Fervor is 10% damage out, 10% damage in reduction. So really, really awesome champion. So like I said, again, traditionally, she, I think, is the first champion to have Fervor like in her kit, right? Because again, you had to get it from a mythical piece of gear, which is insane. And it would only activate if you're healing. Now she just puts it on your team. So like an amazing champion, guys. An amazing champion. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to run a quick battle. So the thing about obviously Titus teams is there's a lot of RNG before I hit the the battle button, right? There's a lot of RNG that goes into this. Number one, especially like this rotation, I think it's rotation 1 that we are, let me see. I think it's rotation 1. Rotation 2. Rotation 1 and 2 is annoying because of the head of torment here. I don't have like a perfect veil for this team. So I'm just basically hoping for the best that my people are not being, I'm not getting feared. But the good thing is, you know, my boy Donnie here is cleansing and she's cleansing. But again, you know, there's still RNG, right? There's still RNG with this team because I like right now, Michinaki here is the first target. But then like right after that, like the next guy that could get eaten is your boy over here, you know? So a little bit, there's a lot of RNG that goes into these teams. I just wanted to preference that before we hit go here. Okay. I don't know what happened. Okay, so I quickly gave her more accuracy because, again, she doesn't have the 9-piece set that would prevent her buffs from being yoinked. So I just gave her more resistance so the stinking head of mischief doesn't yoink her stuff. So not bad. Not bad, guys, huh? Not too bad. I'm actually really excited about this. I think this is the most amount of damage I've ever done on Nightmare. This is literally that was a point and click. That was a point and click. Wow, dude. That is insane. That is insane. And she healed almost as much as Diamat and Donnie, dude. Wow, that's crazy. And these guys also have blessings. Like, wow. Like, wow. I'm impressed. Like, this is insane. Like, this is really, really cool. Oh my God, dude. This champion is really, really awesome, guys. Let me know if this guide helped you out at all building your Pallas here. I will eventually say their name right, but until then, I will butcher everybody's name. I always see. But I hope this guide was helpful, guys. Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see everybody in the next video.